Okay, people, Flames Talk is back again.
Yeah, I'm not alone. I have an amazing guest who will be joining me on the show today. My guest is an actor, a compere, a voiceover artist. As we all know, these are political times. The general election is coming up next year, and a lot of people have their candidates. A lot of people are being bought over and all that. So that is what we are going to be discussing today. Do not go nowhere. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as my guest joins us shortly. All right, welcome back, guys. Flames Talk is back, and like I said before, we have a special guest joining us today to discuss a very sensitive and interesting topic. And I want you guys to brace yourself. My guest needs no introduction. He is a well-known actor and voiceover artist. His name is Gregory Ojefua. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me. A point of correction.
Okay.
My name is Greg Teddy Bear Ojefua.
Greg Teddy Bear. Okay, Gregory Teddy Bear Ojefua. Nice to have you here. We are at critical times now in Nigeria because this election is a determining factor for the continual growth of this country. If this country is going to grow in the next 8 years, it's determined by the next election. So vote buying and vote selling is ongoing currently. It's a tool that politicians use to drift voters in their favor. So, and then there's the case of celebrities who will swing by different politicians for various reasons. So that is what we are going to be discussing today, actually. So, what is your idea on vote buying? Why do you think politicians go ahead to do it?
It's basic. Vote buying is marketing for them. Vote buying is part of what they think they need to do, or rather, part of the things they do to secure victory, or at least to guarantee to some reasonable point. But vote buying, elections are won by the number of votes the contestants have. So the more votes you have, the higher the chances of winning. And if you can go and buy these votes, of course, anyone in the position to do so will go and buy. So it's obvious why they buy votes. And I think it's going to be difficult to stop them from buying. I think it will be easier on trying to focus on stopping the people who sell from selling.
We saw what happened in Ekiti. We recently completed elections in Ekiti State, where I actually thought that the Soki generation would be acting differently based on what happened 2 years ago during the NSAS protest. We saw where people were flaunting cash that they got from politicians. Now, a politician that goes through that route to bribe people, to give people money, different amounts of money. It could be monetary, it could be gifts, just to swing their votes in the favor of the said politician. Do you think that this is something that any politician that is coming to work would do?
Question again is, if the politicians doling out money for votes actually have the best interest for this country, basically in a nutshell, right? Or if they are viable candidates. Poverty, hunger have been weaponized in Nigeria. People will buy or sell their votes rather for two reasons, from my perspective. For greed, irresponsible greed, okay, and or for the sake of escaping chronic, barbaric, brutal hunger that blocks their logical reasoning and dulls their conscience. You may not be able to understand, but people are hungry. So hungry they can sell their votes for 500 naira and use that 500 naira to buy a meal to eat or get something for their children. That is how we might not be able to understand why, because we can afford our bare necessities. But my brother, people are hungry. People don't have a roof over their head. They don't have access to water. Look at water now. Pure water is 20 naira. Pure water, 20 naira. Gas is 10,000 naira. As in, let's not even start. Let me not derail. So the truth is, the government has deliberately made sure that a certain group of people will remain hungry to the point of happily or unhappily. Because some people are hungry, they know they ought not to sell their votes, but they have no choice. Some people have gone into crime. Even the crime market, in quotes, is oversaturated. This set of people, I want us to focus. Those who are irresponsible greeds, they are another case. Prosperity karma will deal with them. They know what they can afford to not sell their votes. They can afford to not sing the praises of bad politicians, but they choose to. And I put irresponsibly. Let me quickly finish with them. It'll be easier to deal with this. I say irresponsibly. In everything, I'm someone who believes in everything you do responsibly. If you have to be greedy, but do it responsibly. Now, my take is, as someone, I don't like using the term celeb, as someone in the entertainment space, someone comes to me, a politician, who I know has no good plan for this country, and gives me money, says, "Oh, Teddy Bear, I love you, wonderful man, you make us laugh." And you say, "Now I'm going for this, I'm going for that. Take this $1 million. You know what to do. Give some of your friends. I will collect it." My brother, I will collect it. I will even ask for more. That's me being greedy. But then, on the day of election, I will go there and vote my conscience. I will tell my friends to vote to do the right thing. In other words, if we see a candidate B who seems to be what the country needs, I will collect money from candidate A. But when it's time to vote, I'll go and vote for candidate B. Why, you might ask me, why don't I just leave the money? It's simple. If I collect that money, I give him a sense of peace that he has covered ground somewhere. So may not bother. For instance, if he's trying to cover ground in the entertainment industry, it's going to be giving me that money, giving a few of my friends that money. It's like, oh, I've covered the entertainment industry. So he now loses guard, quote and unquote. He leaves the entertainment industry to go and focus on another industry, but not knowing that we are going to do what we want to do. 1, 2, if I don't collect that money from him, he will have that money to give to somebody who may actually collect it and do what he wants him or her to do. So I'm ridding him of his influential power or of his destructive power by collecting that money. 3, $1 million or whatever he gives to me, I can collect it and use to help these people that they have weaponized poverty and are killing them with, basically. So that would be my rationale for doing it. You get me? Now, let's jump. And so that is then me being greedy responsibly. If you still choose greed. Now, let's jump to these people the leaders themselves who are giving out this money. And I want to just quickly cap it up in a scenario, so that we don't run out of time here. Because people have been deafened with hunger and poverty. When I say deafened this, you are speaking to these people. They understand what you are saying. They know that you have great intentions for this country. They know you are going to bring that change. Let's say I'm campaigning for president and I have a great president. They know that Gregory will change this country. But my brother, at that point in time, they want to die from hunger. They want food in their mouth. They want water in their throat. All I'm saying is entering their right here and leaving the left. So what I may have to do, because sometimes in order to achieve good, you need to do a little bad. You have a daughter who is chronically ill. She needs to take her meds. She's refusing to take her meds. And you tell her, if you don't take your medicine, I will die. Do you want your daddy to die? No, I don't want my daddy to die. She takes the medicine. What did I do? I lied, right? I did bad. But what? For a greater good. The same way, I will meet these people. I will raise money. I'm not going to steal money. I'll do a GoFundMe. I'm going to tell people, look, if we don't speak money, we will not get the vote we want. People will donate money for the cause. I will go and buy votes. I will go and meet these hungry people and buy their votes. I will play the same game these bad guys are playing. Then when I win the election, within first year, second year, third year, God helping us, because the rot this country is in is terrible. I change the country around, or try my best to change the country around. People will see visible signs. Some of these people who could not afford to eat in days, at least maybe I've got to the point where they can afford to buy a meal a day, which is a far cry from where they used to be. So I do that 3 years. By the time the next election is coming, I go and meet them. I say, you remember me when I wanted to come, when I was campaigning the other time, I gave you money. 3 years. I was not supposed to give you money then. But I gave you money because I know that they had used hunger to deafen you and to blind you. Now, I gave you money so that I'll be able to show you something. Can you eat? Yes. Do your children go to school for free? Yes. Are there good roads? Yes. Is there electricity? Yes. Are your children employed? Yes. Is it the life you are living now, is it better than what you were living 4 years ago? Yes. Good. Election is next year. I am not giving you money again. You have seen what I did. You know what the previous government did. If you want to go back to that life, fine. If you want to remain in this life, fine. And I leave it at that. So you now see the rationale behind me buying votes. That's why I'm coming back to your question now. So what do I think about the politicians who buy votes? If we have politicians who are buying votes for this scenario I just put out, I understand. Because nobody wants to English. It is only those of us who have food in our belly that will listen to people who have great intentions talk and will go to the polling booth and vote for them. Those who are hungry, they can't hear again. They can't see again. They just want to eat. So for those who have good intentions, and I realize that the population that will guarantee that victory, because you sit down and you do this analysis, to win this election, you really need the votes of these hungry people to win the election. And you discover that the only way you can get their votes is by putting food in their mouth. Then you have to do it. So if they're doing it for that reason, I have no problem with it. But if those people who are doing it, just because they want to get there and continue doing the rubbish they do, and continue to allow insecurity to prevail and hunger to ravage the land, then they are terrible people, and they should not by any means find their way into the corridor of power. If they offer you money, my brother, grab it. So you deprive them of construction power and go and do the right thing at the polling booth. Because nobody is going to be with you at the polling booth. Remember that. Nobody is going to stand with you at the polling booth. They have no right to be with you there. So you go, when you see them, obviously they'll be around you go, hey, already, yes, yes, ABC, yes, CDE, FGH, yes, yeah. When you vote, go and vote for what you want to vote. Then when you come out, Naim, hey. You dance, you go, use that money to eat correct, a band, a goosey soup, celebrate and wait for elections to turn up.
Fantastic. Now, to those that sell their votes, well, I don't know if there's any way to measure the outcome. That's okay. You collect this money, like you have said, you collect the money and then go to the polling booth and then vote the opposite of who you have collected money for. I don't think there's any way to measure it. We can never know if they actually voted for that person they collected money for or they voted for someone else. Mm-hmm. But there's something we can even do. Do you think that there can be any form of sensitization to sensitize people on the hazards of taking that step, collecting money, and then voting because of that money? Because that money will never last you past that week, not to talk of 8 years.
My brother, that song has been sung for years. That is why.
So why are they not listening to the song?
Hunger. You have eaten. That's why you are listening. You have eaten. You know that tomorrow you can get a meal. You know that this evening, if you're hungry, you can buy a meal. There are people who out there who have not eaten for 3 days. What song do you want to sing that they will hear? They can't hear anything again. They can't see anything. They can't smell anything. Hunger has destroyed all their sense of listening. That's why I said at the point, I said, those who sell happily or unhappily. And what I mean is that there are some people who still know. They can hear. They know that this act they're about to do is wrong. But my brother, hunger.
So you say there's nothing that can be done. Nothing that can be said to them to change their mentality.
No, because hunger has been weaponized. The power players, they know. Imagine, this is Nigeria, my brother. This is a country where the naira was stronger than the dollar. Are you aware? This is a country where the naira was stronger than the dollar. This is a country where every year, at least many of these power brokers, many of these leaders travel out at least 2 or 3 times a year. All their kids are in foreign schools. All their medical tourism are abroad. So they know what they can do or what they should do. But they are not doing it. Why?
They don't do it.
You know why? They will not allow the education sector to thrive. Why? Because they have built private schools and universities that they want people to go to. They will not allow the roads to be good or to last long. Why? So that the roads can be great again, and then they will use their companies to collect contracts to repair the roads. They will not allow power to exist. Why? Because they have generator companies that they manufacture generators they need to sell. They will not allow fuel, a refinery to operate properly. Or well, let's watch and see what Dangote is going to do. But it stayed this long. Why? Because they make money when they take out the oil to refine and bring in. Many of them have interest in refineries outside the country. My brother, for everything that is not working in this country, there is somebody at the top who is benefiting from it. So that is why this country will remain like this. We are still called the giant of Africa, my brother. I looked at recently, I saw the list of currencies in Africa. My brother, Nigeria is, I think, around the 10th? I'm not too sure. Least currency in Africa. Do you know that we taught Malaysia how to make palm oil? Do you know? Now, Malaysia is the highest palm oil producing country of palm oil. Yet, to buy a keg of palm oil, have you asked how much a keg of palm oil is? My brother, see, hunger has been weaponized. And if people are not fed, if people do not have their ears open and their eyes open, they will not be able to do anything. There's no sensitization. As you are speaking, it's going through their right and come out through their left. Take it from me.
Now, we're going to talk about something else right now, and that is the celebrities who stand by various candidates. You are a celebrity. First thing we are going to talk about, what is their mindset? Why? These guys have people looking up to them. Should they be standing by any politician?
Yeah, first of all, I believe everybody, celeb or not, has a right to association with the Constitution. Being a celeb doesn't rid you of your fundamental human rights. You are still an electorate. You can still share your views and opinions. You can still tell people, try to tell people to like your football club, for instance. Tell people to come and use your perfume. So the same thing goes with your preferred candidate. Now, where I have a problem is for those there are some people who probably don't know that their preferred candidate is shady. Those ones, I can't blame them for what they are doing. Second group of people are the people who know. And these are the problem people we have. Second group of people we have are people who know that their candidate of choice is not what the country needs. But either because of financial gains, ties to power, everyone wants to be able to pull up their phone and call the president or call the governor, and the governor is my person, whatever, or family relationship. So in this part of the world, in Africa, we dwell too much on family ties. It's your brother now. Your brother is campaigning in WAC. Why will you go and vote in UPP or whatever? I'm not calling. I hope these letters are not real political parties, but you get what I'm trying to say. So for these reasons, you tend to see people following following and putting out the wrong candidates. Now, let me speak to you, my fellow celebrity. We have a conscience. We know you're over 20, you're over 25, you have sense. You know God will punish you. If you think the money you are giving now or the access you have to power now because of these people will continue to save you, no, the money will finish. These people will not remain in power forever. Think of your children. You think you will jackpot, you take them abroad. What of your cousins? Will you take all your cousins abroad? Think about the people related. Think about your classmates, your best friends. Will you take them abroad too? Even they abroad, do you think that the time will not come and they will not place an embargo on number of Nigerians? They let go and try to get the South Africa visa now. You know how far. Let us try. Yes, you may be hungry. You may not get that politics money this year. But if we do the right thing and put who we truly perceive to be the right person, but at the end of the day, we really don't know anybody. But there are people we perceive to seem to be the right person. If we follow our conscience and do the right thing, in the long run, it will be so good that you would not need politics money to survive. You will not need to know somebody to move around in the country. The police will stop you. They will politely attend to you and release you. You will need to make a phone call. All this is possible. You see these things happen outside. They are countries like us. How many heads do they have? But the country works because the citizens themselves work. They stand for justice and peace. They do the right thing. They shun greed. Please, I beg you, let us push forward the right person. Please. If not, this country, it will disintegrate. If not, this country, you will not be able to stay in anymore. And the day you want to run and you want to go to the airport and escape, you will not see opportunity to escape